Today we're doing some timber stand improvement and whitetail habitat improvement as well. We have this nice open woods, and as you can see, there's a lot of very large trees in this woods, and most of them are just large red oaks, which don't help the deer out a whole lot. And so what we're going through and basically taking these larger ones. That one has a big fork and a huge canopy, and basically going through and removing some select trees, just the larger diameter ones that need to go to allow the younger trees to grow, and you're going to get a lot more stem count in this little corner here. So we're going to go throughout the whole woods and do that, and that gives us a lot more sunlight coming into the woods, and that translates to a lot more stem count and undergrowth, which obviously translates to a lot more deer. And then after that, you can go through and create your bedding areas in a certain locations. And so yeah, we'll show you kind of how we do what we do, and yeah. As you can see here in this open area here, nothing could grow because of this tree. The top was absolutely huge, and it wasn't letting in any sunlight. You see, you had zero undergrowth here. And then right over here, you can see where some sunlight got in, and you had the patch of thorns and some undergrowth. But that's an example of why you cut these big red oaks out. They're not producing anything for the deer. In fact, they're hurting it. So it's a great way to have some income off of your land, but also be helping your deer herd and your property. This is another great example of a tree that should be removed. It's a pretty nice walnut tree, and normally we would probably leave a tree like this stand, but because it has that defect and it's already going to be hollowed at the bottom there, that's going to affect that tree to the point that it won't continue to grow. Eventually it'll just fall over and be dead and not be worth anything. So it's still, you can get a log out from about the dot up above that, but that's a good tree to be taken out. Here's a great example of a tree that should be removed. Very large mature red oak with a quite large top, right beside a really nice young walnut tree that here in a few years will be a really nice tree. And by taking that tree out, it's going to allow it more sunlight and less competition to be able to grow, and the difference in the growth rings is going to be insane, just how much faster it's going to grow. We're here on the other side of the walnut tree now. I cut that one down. It's a beautiful tree. And then here you can see on the sort of southeast side of the tree is this other large red oak. And we're also going to be removing that one. And then after that, this tree will have very little competition. It'll have this small one here, but this is already the dominant tree, and that's not going to be a problem. But by taking these two larger red oak out that really aren't doing anything for the deer, they don't like the red oak acorns. They're very, very bitter. If you ever try biting into a red oak versus a white oak, you'll see what I mean. There's a reason the deer don't like them. So really they produce very little cover, they produce very little food, and but they do make good lumber. So we're going to be taking these two larger red oaks out, and that little maple or that little walnut tree should be growing a lot better.